Hey guys, what's up? It's your man Pete. And my bad for not putting up a video lately. It's just been very busy here, busy helping my clients buy and sell properties all across the city. Advising them on how to take advantage of a slightly slower market so that they can get in at a reasonable price and hopefully negotiate a good deal. Or well, at least avoid those nasty bidding wars. But man, the Toronto real estate market is still considerably hot right now. Factoring in that the stress tests have now been introduced and actually implemented, the fact that it's actually summer, cottage, and vacation season, and normally after some really intense buying, and in this year the peak was actually in March of this year, usually things kind of slow down a little bit. You get a little bit of a breather and you get to catch up. But as we all know, this is still not a normal year. And apparently things don't slow down when you're still in the middle of an international viral contagion, where buyers are actively out there looking for properties and especially looking for more space if they can afford it, and some are just tired of renting and want to get into the market as soon as possible before prices really get out of control. But just some quick numbers to throw at you here so you get a sense of what's really happening overall here in the market in the Greater Toronto Area for the month of June 2021. Total sales are up 28.5%, which is a pretty significant number over the sales amount last year in June of 2020. Sort of last year at this time, things were starting to improve again after we had those 2 or 3 months of really down activity. We sort of started seeing things starting to warm up or heat up, and the sales activity really picked up in the months after June. The average price of homes are up 17% compared to last year, which is a number that I don't really want to share with you because I don't want to scare you. Yes, we all know the average price of homes in Toronto is well over $1 million now, and it's mostly driven up by freehold properties, detached singles, semis, and townhouses. But condos were definitely no slouch either. It was up 8% as an average for condos in the month of June. And unsurprisingly, it commanded a really big portion of sales activity for the market overall during the month of June. And my personal thoughts are this is going to be a trend that's going to continue as single detached freehold properties become more and more expensive and out of reach for younger home buyers. So clearly the trend of low interest rates and people looking to upsize and get more space, sort of move out of their existing condos or townhouses and move into a property with a little bit more space. So not only is this a factor in your lifestyle for people with families, it's also becoming really important to have a space or an extra room or a basement or maybe even a garage in your house where you can hold meetings, quietly and privately without kids jumping into your Zoom meetings. Because it's really starting to feel like we're moving into this new reality, this new hybrid model where people are going to be working at the office, maybe 3-4 days out of the week, and then they're also going to be working at home too. While this hasn't really been firmly established here in Canada just yet, we are starting to see some backlash from tech workers down in Silicon Valley, where big companies like Apple or Google are wanting to have people come back into the office. However, those workers are the ones that are the most tech connected. And in the case of large tech companies, having these employees being happy where they work is really, really important because they could easily find another place of work with the talent that they have that will allow for the flexibility in lifestyle where you could work from home maybe most days out of the week. So having these draconian rules of forcing people to go back to work is not necessarily a great thing for companies, and it's not necessarily a great thing for everybody because not everyone agrees that we all have to be back at the office. Some might agree, but I don't know if you can force workers to do that anymore. In speaking to some people that I know and in speaking to some of my clients, some of them have actually benefited from working from home because, first of all, you don't have to commute to work and waste, 2 hours out of the day, and they don't have to rush back to pick up their kids or figure out alternate arrangements for looking after their kids and preparing meals for them and getting them ready for bed and ready for school the next day. So as we can see, this pandemic has actually opened up this whole Pandora's box of new interesting possibilities for how we can live and arrange our lifestyles and especially our homes. But yeah, overall prices are not going down here in Toronto and the GTA in Canada's most populous city. And historically all across Toronto, once we reach new heights and plateaus in prices, we generally don't see prices coming back down, which I think it's really bad news for people that want to get into the market. However, the good news is that Toronto is still very much affordable. You know, if you're a little bit flexible in your options, you're a little bit flexible in your location, you know, you can still get into the market, you know. So we shouldn't necessarily take this really sort of dark and dramatic take on the overall market, and we shouldn't be afraid of the news of what's happening in the market, because there are options available, you know, because maybe you could move just, you know, slightly out of the zone that you wanted to purchase in, or you can just move out of a different district slightly, and you know, you can suddenly afford something a little bit more or a little bit better. So what I really want you guys to stay away from is the thinking that, you know, I will never be able to afford it, you know, I will never be able to afford to purchase here in Toronto. But I mean, we're also seeing a lot of people moving outside of the city too, you know, living an hour and a half outside of the city because of the possibilities of this hybrid model now. So if you're hoping or expecting or waiting for prices to drop, well, I've got sad and bad news for you. That's probably not going to happen. So the best thing to do is just to look at things a little bit more realistically, maybe buy during a time when it's a little bit slower. I would say right now is actually a slightly slower time. I'm not going to say for sure, because usually there are months that really slow down here in Toronto, and if it continues at this pace and we continue to see sales activity all the way until the fall, maybe, just maybe, we'll see things slow down just a little bit in November and December as it cools off. So that could be a good time for you to get in. But now would not be necessarily a horrible time to get into the market either, because a lot of competition has already purchased and moved on, or they're just busy with like summer activities like cottage and camping and just, you know, vacation season again. So it is still a good time to get in my opinion, if you qualify, and maybe you can even negotiate just a little bit off the price, because there are some sellers who are motivated to move right now. But yeah, talking about sales numbers again, I mean, if we continue at this pace, there's a really good chance that we will smash record sales numbers that we saw in 2016 of 113,000 sales transactions. It could be possible that we will break that record here in 2021. So yeah, if you're just starting out in the game and you want to purchase your first place, maybe you need to buy a place and rip out some carpets. Maybe you need to buy a place and change out the kitchen. Maybe you need to buy a place and just, you know, put up some paint and light fixtures. If you're going to sit and wait and try to save up money and try to hope and wait for the neighborhood that you want to buy in to drop, you know, sadly, that's not going to happen. It's really more about thinking about your plan B and your plan C options, just so that you can get into the game and start building equity, start capturing some of that appreciation, and start building wealth for yourself. Toronto has gotten really expensive to buy, even for condos. But if you simply have an open mind and you listen to advice from the professionals who work in this business, and also take some consultation from your family and friends, but you should definitely work with people who know the market, who understand the market, and know how to navigate this, because they've been working in it and they see it and they're experienced. So give us a call if you're ready to make a move and you've got your financial house in order, and we're going to help you find the best property in your budget that's going to help you perform, so that in the next couple of years, when you are ready to move on, you will have made money and you will have appreciated the property and you will have made it better than when you got it. So don't be shy to hit us up here at Selling Toronto if you're ready to buy or sell. We'd be happy to assist you, and we definitely want to provide the best possible experience and the best knowledge and expertise in the business. And if you're new here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give us a like, feel free to leave us a comment. We would really appreciate some positive feedback, and we hope to work with you soon to help you make the next transition in your life. We'll see you soon in the next one, and bye for now.